All right. What's going on, guys? How are you today? All right. What's going on? What's going on, everybody? Everybody, what's happening with you today? So we're gonna go ahead, guys. We're gonna do a really quick stream today. I know that I'm getting started a bit late, but I was on the phone with my brother, and because I'm a good brother, right? I like to I like to call and check on my siblings because I'm the oldest of three. So I gotta be Big Daddy. I gotta call them up, tell them y'all call me Dad. I think I like the way that sounds, right? Of course, you can imagine what my little brothers said. Nothing. They just hung up on me, right? That was what they always do, right? So anyway, let's go ahead and get into it, guys. I'm excited about drawing today. I'm feeling good about drawing. You see, I got all my little shapes and papers here. This is some stuff I had for actually a student here a little while back, but let's put that there because I got a feeling I'll be using that today. So let's get into it. We're going to be drawing caricatures. We're going to be talking about hands today. I'm going to be doing some hands, some things I discovered about hands to make them a little bit easier for you guys that are having a lot of trouble drawing hands, okay? And then we have some more faces for you guys that are still having problems drawing faces, right? But let me tell you something. Don't get discouraged by that because I also struggle with drawing faces at times too. So even the best of the best of the best, I'm that last best. I'm the best of the best of the best, right? We still have issues learning how to, see a face and stuff like that sometimes. So that's perfectly normal. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and jump in. I know you guys are ready and excited to draw. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to warm up with some shapes, okay? So here we go, guys. Let's warm up. And I just want you to follow me. And even if you don't want to, you want to learn from the best of the best of the best, right? Then learn these simple head shapes, right? I'm about to put down here. I'm just going to warm up, and you can use these if you want to. If you don't want to, I get it. That's fine too. Okay. So these are my staple head shapes. This is like if you were a beginner when I was a super beginner, I would definitely recommend these kinds of shapes because they're so easy to remember, right? Okay, so and then we got one more I'm gonna put over here. So you can play around with these if you want. I'm just gonna take them and turn them into little little people, right? All of these are my little people, right? This is my practice of little people. Okay, and then we can put some let me see. Let's see here. Let's just see if we can make them look different. Let me see. Um, Let me see. Oh, you know what? So I'm gonna start with a premise of each face. This is the premise of each face. Let me see here. What do I want this guy to feel? I want him to feel. I'm gonna do something really small like this. Little eyes here. Um, I want somebody with little eyes here. And maybe this one here. I want a big eye. Okay. And then this one down here. I shouldn't have drew all this stuff in here, but you know what that is, right? So it's like a little pencil. Okay. Let's see here. All right, now let's put some. So let's see what we want. We want some. Oh, right. Mm. All right. Mm. Okay. Uh. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Let me see. Let me see what kind he can do. He can do. Let's do this here. Okay. Then we're gonna put some little noses on each one. So just let's make up a little nose here. Oh, we forgot to put a mouth over here. What kind of mouth can I have here? I'll tell you what. We're not gonna have. We're gonna have something where he doesn't even have a mouth. He just has a beard, and his mouth is underneath the beard, so you can only see his chin and his cheeks because he can't. His beard is so big it covered things up. Right. Okay. Um, Now we'll put some little noses here. One. Let's see what kind of nose we got here. Two. Let's put this nose here. Let's figure out the shape of the nose and then put the little part around the outside. That's the shape right there. Let's make this guy into a. Let me see. Oh, you know what? Tell you what. We'll make his nose like this. Right. So there's a little wings on his nose right there. So everything is just kind of mushed in. This guy is super pissed off. Those are his eyebrows, by the way. Okay. And then I'm over here. I might have a bubble nose guy. And let's put some ears on our guys. This is just warm ups now, guys. So if you're warming up, let's just keep warming up here, okay? And now y'all want to jump right into the fancy stuff. A lot of times you know what I notice about YouTube, Facebook, and all that stuff, right? Sometimes you'll stop and listen to the videos that don't have anything to do with anything because they look like they're complicated. Like the more distraction there is for you, you tend to pay attention more to those things. And it's usually these things that are very simple concepts that have like the biggest impact on how you perceive something, right? Simplicity absolutely kills, right? Okay, let me see here. Oh, I forgot to put a nose here. Let's put like a really long nose here. Look at that. That's a long nose. Okay. And then now we're going to put some hair on our people. So let's just give him some hairdos. What about this guy? Let's do like a little, he's a rocker dude. So he has a hair like this. And you know how rocker dudes, their hair is spikes all over the place. So if I was making fun of a rocker dude, this is how I would do it, right? And I'll give him some eyes over here. And then maybe what I can do here is we can go, you know what? What would we see? We would see the middle one, two, three, four. All right. Then we got one, two. All right. Come over here, here, and here. Okay. And then we got the middle and the end. And then that's the one. And then we come here. Now this is where actually, his guitar is supposed to be coming out from. Right? Because I can't get the whole guitar in there, but that's his little hand. All right, going over here. All right, something like that. Okay, but this is really what cartooning is all about. Just having a little bit of fun, right? And creating some things, right? And I like to, and for if you're a beginner again, you want to you want to make this a little income on the side. I'm telling you, if you learn to get you some staple shapes, start with some basic staple ones, right? This guy has a box top. What kind of haircut does this guy have? I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll make this guy have like a short haircut like that, right? And then we can have, you know what? We can make this into a lady. Watch. We can make it into a lady. All we got to do is add some long hair, some eyelashes, and some eyebrows. All right? And some lips. All right? Okay, and some ears. All right? And some earrings. There we go. So now we got a cartoon little lady, right? All right. So now I think we're finished warming up here. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get into drawing some faces, okay? After that, we're going to be covering a little bit about hands. I thought about doing hands up front, but I don't know. Let me see here. Let's see what we got here. We go to Pinterest over here, okay? And we are going to start with, let's start with, let me see. Wow, who is that? Does anybody know who is this? I don't like that picture. It's not gratifying. I'm gonna start with a young person. I'm gonna start with a young person. Let me see. Oh, maybe I won't. I don't like that picture either. A picture has to say something to me before I start. Which I know what you're saying. It's an inanimate picture. How can it say something to you? Well, to you I say, stop trying to make so much sense, right? All right, let's look at this guy right here. Now, this guy's face is strikingly similar to this right here. So, or like in expression, but in shape, it's really more similar to something like this. So, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to give him a classic, you know what? I'm going to give him the classic bullet shaped face, or should I go with the beaker? You know what? I'm gonna go with a classic bullet shape. So I'm gonna do something like this. One, two, three. Right? Oh, my son drew on this paper earlier. And then we're gonna go around it. This is gonna be actually a. Oh, you know what? Let me write this down. Large hats. I gotta remember that. Okay. Now once we do this shape right here, now watch what we're gonna do. Let's just do it real quick. We're gonna put a a little swoosh right here for the top of the hair. Right? All right, everybody draw their swoosh. All right, now let's get to the side of the paper. And we're gonna do this little piece over here on the side. So he has a kind of a meat head. So he has a little bit of of meatiness right here, but you don't want to add too much. You know what I'm saying? Because you got this big shape down here. Now what we're gonna do now is we're gonna add our ear shapes. They're gonna be small shapes that just kind of sit really close to the head. Okay. Now let's get the basic idea of his face is this and this, right? Two little boot shapes right here. Okay. Everybody got their boot shape down? Yep. Okay. So let's go to the next part. Let's go to our nose shape. So for this guy, what I'm going to do is I'm going to build the shape of the nose. You know what I wonder? Can I do it this way and come down and then build this? Yes, I can. I absolutely can do that. So I'm going to make this tall shape here. And then once I get the tall shape, then I will wrap around with the nostrils and then the bottom of the nose. So I want this nose to be kind of big and this part to just kind of wrap out on the nose, right? And then we'll put our beard, okay, yeah, so this one's going to be, okay, you know what? Hold up. Let me keep it like this. Okay. All right, then we're going to go to this little shape here. That's his sad mouth and his little beard shape underneath there. And then we're going to go with this. Okay? Did y'all get that? Let me make this shape more legible for you so you can see. So these look like little claws, right? Little claws right here for his mustache, and it leads into here. And then we have a guy with a nice round posture, right? So we're going to make his posture kind of come off of the nose shape a little bit way up there, right? It's a little round. He has round shoulders, right? And then this is all colored in right here. And now you guys are like, how do we do the eyes on this one, right? Hey, hey, what's going on, Faith Ann? How are you? Whoop, whoop. Good, welcome, welcome. Where are you, Cherish? My moderator is not here right now, but that's okay. Um, that's totally okay. Da, 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 da. All right, here we go. Let me go to let me go to the eyes real quick. So with these eyes right here, what I'm seeing is really a shape like this. So I'm just gonna kind of do a round shape here. This is round here, and then it's gonna be like this shape kind of coming hanging off of that shape with his eyes like right around here. You know what I'm saying? Because you want that little bulbiness right around the top of the eye. You see how this part of the eye just kind of bulbs out a little bit? So you want that in there, right? Did y'all catch that? Did y'all see how I did that? Pretty amazing, huh? Yeah, if I do say so myself. Now, we're just going to bring the bottom of the eye in. I always try to think of the eye as a round shape first before I deal with any other types of shapes. I mean, you know what I mean? I think that that's a important thing for me. Sometimes some people might not see it like that. But anyway, this is just a real quick breakdown of how to draw a face, right? That you want to keep it simple. You want to keep your faces very simple. Okay? What is going on here? Oh, okay, this. Okay? All right. So we got this guy down to a science. Now, if you guys want to share your work with me, I am doing great. I'm doing great, Fate, and super awesome of you to ask about the old rouser. Right. All right. Let me see here. Oh, wait a minute. Let me get this out of here. I don't know why this is up here. Let's put something over here that looks something that we can actually use for caricatures, which are these shapes here. I like to put my shapes up. Okay. All of these shapes are really something cool to make things out of, and so I like to keep them next to my drawing board. A good habit that you should get into is using. I know you guys on TikTok cannot see the shapes that I put up on YouTube because I have access to. I'm on a streaming platform, so this one I can only unfortunately use my phone, right? But there's shapes like diamonds, squares, and stuff like that that I use to help to put together my face. You know what I mean? So I think those are important to keep your flow correct while you're at the drawing board. Sometimes you can lose focus as to what you're doing generally, and that could cause a problem. So that is our first picture, right? Burly Joe, right? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Let's see who else we can make fun of today. Now, if you guys have any requests, I would like to know what those requests are because perhaps we can use that person as a model and we can draw them here, okay? Now, real quick, as I go through the stream, guys, we're going to hold on a second. I'm going to give you guys a little bit of information here, just through the stream. First, if you guys want to take classes, I am a caricature art teacher, so I teach like students how to draw, like the ones that go to Six Flags and they go to amusement parks and all that stuff. Well, I get a lot of caricaturists from all over the place that learn how to draw caricature from me, and I'm able to teach them relatively quickly through the system that allows them to use everything they already understand to draw that what they don't understand. So once I get to know you, I don't believe there's a student that I can't reach. So if you want to take a class, you can go to rouserworld.com/classes, and I will take care of you. Okay? So that information is there for you. The second thing is our Patreon page. We are a fan supported art ministry. So we teach art. but we are supported fully by our fans and those that are learning from us. So if you feel that if you're benefiting or you have benefited or you've been rolling with me for a minute and you want to sow into our what we're doing here at Rouse the World, creating artists, changing minds, you know what I'm saying, transforming hearts through art, you can do that. Join our Patreon family at patreon.com/Rouse the World. We'd love to have you as part of our family, okay? Which reminds me, my son, we're halfway to our goal, guys. So we're trying to earn $250 more. We have a birthday party coming up for them, and we're trying to fund that birthday party for my two sons. They will be 2 and 4 years old. By the way, guys, I am 53, so this is a big milestone for me. I am so blessed that I made it this long to see my kids. And then finally, guys, if you want to tip today, thank you so much. Tips are appreciated. You guys have your super stickers and things that you can use here on the website. But then also I have Cash App here. So if you guys want to tip, buy artist a cup of coffee this morning, you can do so through Cash App, $Rouse the World, okay? All right, so let's see. Faith Ann asked the question, how do you start doing caricatures? Well, I'm going to tell you what, that approach looks different for everybody. I'm going to pull up another picture here so we can draw at the same time that we're talking. But that approach looks different for everybody. Let's go with this guy here. How I started was I simply found somebody that was I ran into somebody that was doing caricature. I became inspired by them. First of all, there's the spark of inspiration, and then from that spark of inspiration, there was also put together. It was a need inside of me. I didn't have work and stuff at that time. I was coming out of a very difficult transition in my life, so I was in a sink or swim situation. So either I could try something or I could sit there and complain about what I was going through in life. So I was like, since I can't physically fill out a job application, you guys read between the lines with that, okay? That was going to be able to pay and support a family. I decided to create something myself, so I used my artistic ability. I went home, got some drawing materials, went to a place where there were a lot of people gathered, and I started drawing on a step. And I put a sign next to me that I had handwritten caricatures for tips, and people started paying me for it. That's exactly how I got started. I didn't know what I was doing. I knew that I knew I could draw a portrait, but I didn't know how to do a caricature. That's why my first caricatures came out looking very portraity versus cartoony, if you could imagine that. You know what I'm saying? Did I answer that question for you, Faith? All right, now let's get into this picture right here. What will we do first with this picture? Well, the first thing we want to do is we want to look at what type of head shape it is that I'm looking at. And so what I'm seeing here is a short, maybe, you know what? I'm kind of seeing a flower pot, actually. Okay, something like this. I'm going to show you what I see. This. So this is the shape I see. It's literally this shape here. Okay, that's the shape I see. And then I see that with some hair on it. So all I'm doing is drawing a long neck at this point. Okay, does that make sense to you? All right. Okay. Let's see here. All right, now let's do the ear shapes here. I'll say something like this maybe, and something like this. All right. Yep. So we got two round cookie type shapes. Now that hair up there really looks like it looks like a triangle, kind of almost going this way. So if I was pointing a triangle this way, this is what it would look like. And then I can't see the consistency of his hair. But what I do when I do hair, I use shapes for the patterns instead of using lines, because it keeps the cartoon, looking more like a cartoon. You know what I mean? Then we'll come over, we'll bring the sideburns down. Over here we have more like we have a smaller triangle shape here that kind of peeks out over here somewhere, and then it comes back into the head. So you can see all of these little lines here, and then you have this line coming back into the head. So there we have our basic upper portion of the body already. Oh, well, thank you, Faith. I appreciate it. Yeah, you know what? They say, Faith, that adversity, right, introduces. Oh, you know what? I see what I did here wrong. Let me erase that. Okay. I'm going to move out further. Adversity introduces a man to himself or a woman, whichever, right? So that's really what it's all about. I'm gonna put these eyes in here, right? And then I'm just gonna kind of taper down here. I got a really tall shape going on here. So what I want to do is I'm gonna draw the shape of my nose here. I'm gonna come down from the top of it, right? And then I'll draw my wings of the nose and in the middle of the nose. So this is the shape of the nose right here. And then I could just use his glasses to top off that line, right? Okay, then I could draw some glasses here. So we want something that looks kind of, we want, again, it's kind of circular, but not too circular, but we don't want it to where it looks like a realistic drawing. So I try to keep a lot of circular motions in my line work. Okay? Okay, now we're going to add the eyes in here, right? Notice for this guy, he had eyes that are very far apart. So what I did was I drew his eyebrows very far apart first so that the eyebrows, and then I'm going to taper everything down so that here is where his mouth would be, like so, all right? I gave him a little bit of a smile, okay? All right, and then we'll go ahead and add our teardrop shape here. And let me see here. So off of the teardrop, you have this shape. And then off of the teardrop, you also have this shape that goes around like this. And then it comes down, and then this comes around like that too. Right. And then this comes down. Down, 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 down. Okay. Yeah, yeah. Okay. All right. Now, let me see here. I think that we're pretty much done with this guy. We did it real quick, right? You can just color this in real quick. Okay. If you want to learn how to draw with a marker, I draw with markers generally at work. I generally don't use pencils, but for practicing, it's okay. Just make your pencil like a marker. And get thick pencils when you draw with pencils. This will help condition your brain to use a marker. So notice this pencil's a little bit fatter than a normal number 2 pencil. It's a fat pencil. So you got to get a fat pencil to draw your caricatures with, okay? So you got these skinny little pencils, right? And then you got fat pencils, right? It's super fat. Pencils on steroids, right? You need a fat pencil like this one. You know what I mean? Yeah. Okay. All right, guys. So did we have any questions about that one? Everybody's good? Okay, cool, cool. All right, so let's go ahead now. Okay. And wow, that's pretty cool right there. I like that. Okay. I like that shape for that nose. And what shape is that? That looks like a heart-shaped nose. What kind of notes did I take down today? I said something over here. What did I say? Something I wrote down. Or was it over here? Okay. Large hats. And let me just put a thing there. I'm also making notes for myself. I like to keep things. Okay. Here we go. And this is the heart, nose. Just different things I saw here. And then this is a flower pot shape. So, and then I'm going to save this picture actually. Does it allow me to save this? Oh, yes, download. Okay. All right. And then the other one that I had, wait, let me see. Where was that guy? That was this guy, right? So I'm going to download that too. Just to make sure I have it. Okay. Now let's pick another face here to go from. Okay. Okay, let me see who we got here. Pedro Pascal, huh? That's a funny picture. What about let's use expressive photography faces. Okay. So we got a lot of expressive photography. Okay. What about this one here? She got like a hat on. Sometimes it'll let me bring the picture up. See, that's not going to let me do it. So I have to pick one where it's going to let me bring the face up here. Let me see here. Okay. So for this one here, I guess I could use this one here. Let me see. What about that one? Would it let me make it bigger? No, it won't. Okay. I can't use that one either. This one, he has a lot of, he has a, like a little, he has a lot of strong features in his face, so I think that one is going to work for us. Okay. So let me see here. All right. What kind of face shape am I looking at here? I know it's some form of the bullet, but do I want to do, what can I call it? What can I call that? Hold up, just let me see what I can call it. Let me look at it. What can this be? I'm trying to think of a name for this shape right here. I like it, but I just can't think of it. It looks like a, I'll tell you what it looks like. It looks like this here. Let me show you. Cheekbones. And then this shape here. Okay, that's what it looks like to me. I just haven't figured out how to name that shape yet. Okay. Now we'll do this here. He has big ears, big little round ears, right? And he's a fighter apparently. You can tell fighters when you see them because they got their ears look all knotted up like that because they be fighting so much. All right, he got the cauliflower ear. So we could just make him have a cauliflower ear, right? All right, now I could have made this a little longer to be honest with you. That would have been cooler. But since I didn't, I'm going to have to shorten the top of the head some. So let's do this. Okay, and then we're going to draw our hair here. So that hair looks like an offset. It looks like a rectangle, but kind of like off on this side. So the rectangle starts from like here. It comes up, and then it kind of just does this number like this, but then it begins to offset as it gets over here. So it gets very little, but it wants to connect back to the head shape here. You get what I'm saying? So it's kind of like a whole big shape, right? Oh, you see squares. Okay. Yeah, you see how when I look at if you how a trick that I like to use is to squint my eyes so that hold on, let me see if I can get this glare out of this picture for you guys. I don't want to use that. That might. Let me use this. Maybe I can put this book here because I know you guys might have a bit of a glare on the screen on YouTube. So I'm just going to do this really quick. Okay. Yeah, that's good. Okay, there we go. So we can get the glare out. Okay, so this part right here, when I thought about it, I thought about this shape here. I'm just going to draw the shape inside of it. Okay, but I drew it with different lines in it, and I just connected it to the head, but I used the forehead shape as the start of my head. Then I'm going to go to the side over here, and I'm looking at this shape, and what I'm seeing here is an like a P shape that's kind of up. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have to go down from here. Okay, the P shape is at the top of this line, so it's like point, and then so it goes down here, and then comes in, and then this one goes around, and it does the same thing. Okay, so now we got our overall head shape here. All right, now let's do our facial features. Okay, so we can go from we have a pretty tapered situation here, but what we have is our eyebrows being way out here. Okay, and then we have these eye shapes that are coming in a little bit more. But then here's what we got it. We got a nose shape that's coming way down here. So what we want to do is we got to, let me see how I want to do this. Um, what's the name of this? You know what? What would be cool is if I come down, right? But then when I come down, I just go ahead and form that heart shape. Like this, okay? And this is his broken nose. All right, in simple form. Okay. Now we'll do the eyes here. And then we got our mouth shape. So his mouth is kind of a very small shape. So I want something that's going to do like, okay. Man, something the other day I saw that really helped me. Okay. Okay. All right. Now, let's see here. Let's do the eyebrows just a little bit thicker. Okay. And then we have this huge bulge, or the windpipe, or the Adam's apple, whatever you want to call it, in the neck shape. And then we're just going to kind of wrap around it with a circle. Okay. And then from that circle, we're going to come off of that circle with our traps, which the traps generally lead right into a shape like so. So he has these huge shoulders, right? Like that. Okay. And then he's probably a UFC fighter, so we're going to put UFC right there, right? Okay. All right. So you see, this is a really, really, really super basic cartoon, right? You didn't need a whole lot of bells and whistles, right, to be able to do them. The key is, I think, is knowing what makes that person look like them and tuning into that. You know what I'm saying? So let me just sign my work right here. So we're gonna do one more. I know we said we were gonna get into hands too today, so we're gonna be covering hands in just a bit here. I've been on stream for about 30 minutes, so we're gonna take the time real quick, guys. again to excuse me, give you some information. If you want to take classes, you can go to rouserworld.com/classes. Thank you very much, guys, for taking classes with us. We also have our Patreon page. If you'd like to join our Patreon family, you have some exclusive behind the scenes videos, things that you wouldn't necessarily see on YouTube or on any of my other social media platforms, because these are just kind of to give back to those that wanted to sow into us. So go over and check out our Patreon page if you'd like to have access to those. And then finally, guys, if you'd like to tip, thank you so much for helping to meet our goal. We're $250 away, guys, from our goal. My son's birthday party, we're planning one for them, uh, both of them at the same time, 2 and 4 years old. So at 53, I'm blessed to be able to see them be this age. And so this is what I do for a living. So I came here and also with the hopes that you guys would want to help out with that. So thank you so much. Okay. Well, Little Craze asked, why was I exaggerating? Because this is what a caricature is. A caricature is not a real life person. A caricature, it's kind of like Bugs Bunny doesn't look like a, if you don't, when you think of a bunny, you don't think of a bunny walking around on his, and just eating carrots and talking to you. You think of him, so an animation artist, which is basically all we are, is they take people from one way and turn them into another way. So this is him in the real world, and this is him in Rouser world, right? So if he lived on a planet, right, where I was the sole, uh, I'm the sole decider, the sole decision maker about how everybody's going to look in Rouser world, then this is what he would look like. Does that make sense to you? So that's why I exaggerated the proportions. Okay. Let's go ahead then and go to our next picture. Who are we going to exaggerate next, right? Let's pick a face. Let's pick a face, any face. Uh-oh, hold on. Let me look here. Okay. All right, so let's go to, and thank you so much, my friend, for being uh, a part of the stream today. Thank you for even acknowledging that I exist, because I know how it is when we be flipping through things, right? And then somebody says, "Oh," and stops and talks to you. It's like being in public. The odds of somebody walking up and actually speaking to you, very small. So the fact that you acknowledge me here today, I certainly. Hey, thank you, Sarah. Sarah, thank you so much. I appreciate you for that tip right there, Sarah. That was super awesome of you. Man, now we need to. So we're doing our 200. We're 250 away. Well, now we're -5, so we're $245 away from my son's birthday, right? So if you guys want to sew into that, thank you again, guys. I appreciate you, Sarah. Super awesome. You get a lot of hearts and love from the Rouser, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Okay. All right. That took you all of 5 minutes. Yeah. Well, you know what? We got one more. I think we got one more. Did I say we're gonna do one more face? Does anybody have a suggestion about a face that we should do? No. If not, that's okay. Let's do somebody with I think we did a lot of guys today. Let's see if we can. Did we do a lady picture yet? No. Okay. Let me show you. Let me see. What about What about this one? This one sounds good. Janet Jackson. Well, yeah. What I did, because this is just normally, this was just to show them how to what shape I was thinking of. So when you got here in the middle of it. But yeah, you don't have to keep the box if you don't want to. You can just take the box out, right? Okay, and do like this here. Watch. So we can color his hair like this, right? And then put some little lines, right? Give him a little fade, right? You know what I mean? So however you want to do it, you don't have to keep that in there. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Now let's go to our next portion, our next face. So somebody Thank you so much. Leave me alone. That sounds like, you know what? Just listen to what I said. Could you imagine if somebody come up to you and and their name is Leave Me Alone? Thank you very much, but leave me alone. That's funny. Okay. All right, let me see here. Let's look at what about her face is just not interesting to me though. You know what I mean? Somebody said Janet Jackson. Just let me see if I got a picture of Janet Jackson. This must I hope is this Jermaine? Because every time I come on here, Jermaine is always asking for Janet Jackson. You know your wife gonna kill you about this. Jermaine. Wait, what about Rihanna? Okay. All right, cool. So this is what we'll do. We got let's see if we can make a okay, Janet, here we go. Which one do I want to hut up? And what's crazy, let me see. This one's cool right here. I like that one. That's a good Janet Jackson right there. Oh, leave me alone. Oh, leave me alone. Okay. Excuse me. See, I was all wrong about that. Okay. Hey, what's going on, Jermaine? Jermaine is here. And that's not you asking for Janet Jackson. This is somebody. Okay. Now, Janet Jackson, she has a Janet Jackson's head shape is her head shape reminds me of a ping pong paddle. You know, you ever seen somebody? I'm gonna show you something. You ever seen somebody? Look. Okay, look. If I did this and put a little ball next to it in a little table like this, right? This is my ping pong table. This is the little net right here, so you can see it. And this is the legs, right? Up one leg longer than the other. Okay, then we got our opponent over here. This is this is this is what's his name? He's waiting over here for us to serve it up to him, right? That's him over there. And so this is the paddle that Janet Jackson's head looks like, right? So if I go down here, right, and I say, when I do this, this would be the shape. Oh, it's kind of unsymmetrical, but this is the shape, and this is actually her neck shape. The little, you know what I'm saying? Right, like that. You get what I'm saying? I need to make it bigger, I know, but I'm just trying to show you what I mean. Let me get another piece of paper so I can draw it for you. So you guys got the visual image in your head, right? So let's put that over here somewhere, right? And then I'll show you what I mean. So let's go from the top to the bottom, to the side, back to the top. Okay? See the paddle and the neck, right? So once you have that, then what you're going to do is this what we're going to do right here, okay? So a large portion of this picture, this is going to be kind of where her eye shape's going to go to me. Her forehead's going to be about that big, okay? So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to bring her hair into the paddle, you see? And then I'm going to surround the paddle with these, this right here is like little, let me think, like little feather things. You see? Little feather things, right? And then this is like the side, this is like the part where you could see where her hair is kind of going back. And then you'll come over here and you have the same situation. Okay? And we're just keeping it real basic here. Okay? Okay. Now, when you get inside of here, just to keep it basic, okay? Okay, yeah, it's mostly hair. All right, watch this now. What we're gonna do here is we're gonna go with our eye shapes. Now she's very spaced apart, so we got to be sure that everything, we can't even see this eyebrow over here, but we just put up, but we make sure that we know this it's over here somewhere. We want this to be right here. Now, once we get here, we're going to go ahead and we're going to, she has very big eyes here. So we're going to go with a shape that looks like this. Okay, again, you can see how Janet's eyes are very spaced apart. And you can't, I think that when a lot of times when we draw, especially celebrities and stuff like that, we start thinking about them being a celebrity, and that's why we freak out about drawing them, right? Not understanding there's so many ways. It's about how you see Janet Jackson, not about how everybody else sees Janet Jackson. That doesn't change. You know what I mean? When you come over here, she has a little nose, right? What are the defining features about her? So we have a little bitty nose. It's little like this, and it's so little, right? That when her smile, this is what we got to get right, okay? So now her everything is tapering in from here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go from about right here to about right there, right? And then we'll put the top lip right, and then we'll come from here down, and we're just tapering everything in, okay? And then we're coming down here, and we're tapering, right? Then we have her cheek expression. Okay. Way out here past the eye shapes. Okay. So, hold on, let me move this all the way out here. Now, if we were drawing with a marker, I wouldn't be doing it this way, but this is, again, for instructional purposes, right? Okay. Okay. So you wanna understand what is it that makes her look like her. You get what I mean? Like, and it's mostly, I'm gonna tell you, I feel like for me, to me, it's all about relationships to me, right? If you think about it as a philosophy of life, right? What makes things look like things are relationships? Like if you have a family, right? Every family looks different, right? Depending on the relationships between the people in that family, right? And that's what every family is, a family. Everybody, mom, dad, brother, sister, aunt, uncle, dog, cat, right? But how are they relationally connected to each other? That's when people start saying things like, I wish my family was more like yours. So that start making things look different. Well, as a philosophy, your face, your everything that's of it it all works the same. To be able to draw something, what makes things look like people look like them are these features: mom, dad, brother, sister, aunt, uncle, dog, cat, right? And then how far apart are they? Do they see each other once every 6 months? That means that they're very far apart. You know what I'm saying? Do they see each other every day? Right? Then they're close together. And you can say things, um, yeah, make the line. Hey, Joe, you know what, Joe? You show right. You're not the average Joe. All right, hold up. Let me see. So you see there, and I feel like there's really nothing I can do to this picture, other than I could make her chin point more, and that's crazy because her chin is is literally coming from way out here. So if I really wanted to give her like you see, that's what really look. You see how I went down here? This made her look older to me, so I tend to leave things like this out. But if you look at it, I'm going to show you. Okay, you see the relationship? Now that really, you know what I mean? She had the hard chin. She has the separated apart eyes. She has the hair. That's Janet Jackson, right? Especially if we would have did this in marker, it'd look really good. But That's how I approach this. Okay, and let's go ahead and just draw some darkness here. All right. I didn't put all her makeup and stuff like she has in the picture, but we can we can do it if we want. Right. Something like that. Okay. It's the pleasure principle. Oh. All right. Okay. So there we go, guys. My quick little Janet Jackson, right? All right. Now, hands. So let's spend a few minutes on that, guys. Um, yeah, I kind of see a little bit of Gabriel. You know what, dude? Straight up, leave me alone. I see Gabriel Union when you said that. Gabrielle Union. Something that you just said. I saw that when you said that. Mm-hmm. I could definitely see that. Mm-hmm. But you know they don't really look that far apart. They really have very similar features, so that's why. Except Gabrielle Union is not Michael Jackson's sister, right? Right. Let me see. Okay. Let me see. So now we're gonna go ahead, guys, and we're gonna talk about some hands. What time we got here? It is now 10:54. I started at 10. So let's go ahead and dive into these hands. So now and possibly we'll go back and visit some more characters. Now, does anybody here have problems? Let me see. Hands poses. Okay, let's just put hand drawings. Okay, so people have You have some hand drawers here that have problems drawing hands. Okay. Well, now again, here goes some hands here. All right. And I know a lot of these here show you this really, but I'm going to tell you what really. Hey, oh my gosh. Hold on a second, guys. My son is in here. Can you? Oh. Say, hold on a minute. This is my son for the one we're doing the birthday for. So I'm gonna go ahead and let y'all meet my son. My other one, let me see. Oh, okay, buddy. So this is Evan. Say hi. Say hi. Yay. Say hi, Ethan. Come here, son. Say hello to everybody, but don't touch nothing, okay? Sit on my lap. And then I want you to see the camera right there. You say hello, and then you say hi, right? And these are going to be the birthday boys. They're going to be, how old are you going to be, Ethan? How old are you? How are you going to be?
4 or 5.
You're going to be 5 years old? And how old are you going to be?
He's gonna be 1.
You're going to be 2. So I'm going to be 2. 2.
1, 2.
Okay, so we got a 5 and a 2-year-old here, guys. And so today I'm raising uh, the money, trying to earn the money for your birthday party, right?
Yeah.
So if you guys want to sew into my son's birthday party, um, we'd love to um, receive that from you. Super awesome. I'm gonna let these two guys go so I can get back into it. Oh my God, give me that. That's kind of dangerous, son. All right. He wants to. You want to draw? Here. Wait. Stop. No, don't touch that. Here. You want to draw? Here. Draw something. What you gonna draw? Draw something. And draw a man. Hey. Oh, you drew. You wrote your name, Ethan.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Wait. Now draw a little man. Here. Let Evan draw. Okay. All right. Here we go. All right. No, man, that's pretty deep right there. The deepness. What were you thinking about when you drew that? Oh, okay. Baby food, maybe. I don't know. All right. Look. Okay, guys. So let's get you guys down before you wreck everything on my desk here. So Ethan, I'm gonna need you to help Daddy. Get down for me, okay? Now walk toward the door so we don't knock anything over. Oh, thank you so much, Faith. Give me that, Ethan. Ethan. Okay. Here you go, son. Let me get this. Let me see. Thank you. All right. Bye bye, buddy. Daddy'll holler at you when I'm done, okay? Thank you. All right. See you later, fellas. Holler at you. Bye. Get out. Bye. Okay. All right, guys. So you guys got a, you know what? Y'all got a bonus art lesson today. I don't usually. Oh, thank you, Faith. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. There's my little fella right there. Good times, Dynamite and JJ. All right, let's see here. Okay, guys. So let's what we were talking about with the hands. Okay, so what changed my perception of hands before we go to this is when I looked at. I'm gonna tell you what I looked at. Watch. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna go here first, and I'm gonna type up. Wait. Let's go to skeleton hands. You would not believe this. I'm gonna show you images. Okay. Okay. So this is a picture of a hand as a skeleton. Okay. Now, your hand actually doesn't. You would think that this is like a flat piece of your hand, but this is really four bones going across your hand, right? And I think that when I saw a breakdown of how the hands work, I was like, "Oh snap!" Right? I understand now. So what it is this part right here we tend to cover that up with a piece that looks like a little block. So it goes from here and it goes down to your wrist, which is right here, right underneath this bone. So you can see this shape kind of looks like a cup shape, right? Like a windshield almost, okay? Then you have these four bones here extending off. You have these four bones here extending off of that hand. So you have and notice the relationships of these bones. So generally, this bone here is the longest bone, right? This bone is a shorter bone, and then this bone is the shortest of all three bones, the one at the tip. And then another thing I noticed was that this bone here is longer. This bone in your finger is longer than the bones over here on all of the other fingers. So these are all pretty much the same. This one is long, this one's kind of short, but these are looks about to be the same size as this one. So you got three with two different sizes. So it doesn't matter. What I do is then I think of the hand like, okay, and I think of it like those bones. So you got I'm just going to do this real quick. One bone, right? Because this is the longest bone. Excuse me. Right? One, and then you have a long bone. You're skipping a space. We got to keep it basic, right? First. Then you got another bone. Okay? And then you got another bone. Okay? And then you got another bone over here. This is the longest bone, right? Connected to the hand. So you basically acting like somebody got all their fingers cut off first, okay? Now, let's assume that these hands are going straight up like they are in this picture. Now, what we want to do is we want to interlock them, right? This is what I would do to make another bone that's shorter. So remember here, I'm going to interlock and I'm going to make something that's shorter. Now, remember, this bone right here is going to be longer than that one. So we're going to go with an interlocking situation. See how we interlock this to find the knuckles? Okay, and then what we're going to do here is we're going to go back to the original size, right? Interlock it, and then we're going to go to a much smaller size, and we're going to interlock it. Okay, so this would be where your knuckles would be at. Now we're going to do the same thing, and we're going to notice the only one that's very small is the thumb one, the pinky one. Okay, so we'll just draw a little small pinky one, interlock it, right? Then we'll draw one that's a little bit taller, right? And we'll interlock it. And these can all pretty much be the same shape. Okay? And then this one is going to, oh, wait a minute. I forgot to put the secondary bone here. I forgot to do this one. All right, so this one is going to be about the same size as the other ones. Okay? And then we have our end bone, which kind of looks like, this one looks like it's going to the side, but we'll just still make it an interlocking bone like this one. So they're all going to be about the same size here. Hold on a second, guys. Okay, so let's erase that. Hold on, guys. Okay. So we're going to interlock this one, and then we'll interlock this one. Okay. So then you can see here that your wrist is coming off like this. Okay. So this is like basically what you're going to do with the hand. So if you understand this, then when you draw this, wherever you draw this cup, right? Let's say this is the cup because the hand is going that way. All right. Well, then now I understand if, let's say my hands are bent, right? I'm looking for, number one, they got 1, 2, 3, 4 bones. Now at this position, I can't see the fullness of the bones on the first row. So only thing I'm going to do here, because remember the first one is the longest one, I'm going to go ahead and draw my finger out here. This is the longest one. But as it goes further away from me, these long bones become short bones. You get what I'm saying? So now I'm here on this first row of bones. Now I'm going to go to the second row of bones, right? And I'm going to interlock them with a smaller bone shape. You get what I'm saying? And then I'm going to interlock these with a smaller bone shape. You see how I can bend the hand around like this? You get what I'm saying? So now we got this going on, right? Now my hand is here, so what is my thumb going to go? Well, we got our first bone. Remember, it's going to be the longest bone, so we can interlock it with the hand, right? It's about the same size as this one, but then we're going to go to another bone that's a little bit shorter, right? So we'll interlock it with a shorter bone, and then we'll interlock that with a little bone at the end, which actually, this one would actually tuck underneath, but I was trying to make it visible. So I'm going to do this here, and then I'll come over here and interlock it. So you can see now my thumb, my wrist is here. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Does this make sense? Am I saying this right? Okay. All right. So let's try to do this just a couple of more times in different positions. Okay. All right. So let's go to hold up, cancel. Let's go back to Pinterest. And we have our hand positions. Okay. So now these positions don't get that hard to draw, because if you look at this hand, let's turn this cup around, right? All right. Now what do we have? We have a long bone here, right? We have a shorter bone here, and then we have a little bone here. You see? Over here, right? This is the base of the hand where that little line is right there. That's this line. So here, what am I looking at? I'm looking at the two top bones of the finger. So the only thing I can do, I'm looking at the pinky, right? And if we remember about the pinky has a little long bone, top bone. And then this one, right, has another top bone, but it's the size of a regular one. So it's going to be about the size of this one. So I could just go here and make this one bigger, right? Now, when I get to the hands, what am I going to do? I'm going to point my hands up. So again, where I got my long bone here. Okay, I got a bone that's slightly longer, and then I have my end bone here. And then I'm doing the same thing here. One, interlock, interlock. You see? And then we have our thing. And in here would be where your fingers would be at. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Hey, what's going on, Jeremiah? All right, hold on one sec, guys. Again, don't forget, if you guys want to take classes with me, you can take classes at rouserworld.com/classes. Let me teach you how to be a caricature artist. I've taught caricature artists all over the world, all over the nation, working at Six Flags, working at the amusement parks, working at parties and events. I've taught them all. If you want to learn how to draw with speed, accuracy, and take away all the other nonsense, right? Take a class with me. You can also support us on Patreon. We'd love to have you as part of our Patreon family. Why not get a look into what it's like to be a 53-year-old dad with two little boys and a little girl and a 30-year-old daughter? Yeah, yeah, you guys get to see my life story and laugh at it. Okay, and then also, guys, don't forget we are raising money for my son's birthday party. I got all of about. I appreciate the $5. Somebody donated $5 today. If you guys, it's a lot of you guys here today. And if you're learning from the stream today, you think, hey man, I can sew into this. I can buy this guy a cup of coffee. Then tips are awesome. Just go over to Cash App, $ Rouser World, and we certainly appreciate it. I know Ethan and Evan are. We'll be sure to upload some birthday pics to the Patreon page so that you can see. Ethan and Evan can meet all of their Theos and Theas online, right? Awesome. Okay, so let's go ahead, guys, and finish up with this hand stuff, and then we'll go ahead and we're going to do. I don't know if I still have that Jeremiah. I have to look and see. I don't know. I have to look. All right, let's see here. What about this position here? Okay, let's go over here. Let's see what we can do. So really, drawing fingers is really, before we go there, drawing fingers is about interlocking. Interlock, 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 right? You know what I'm saying? That's all it is. So this is a pointer finger. Then you have interlock, 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 right? And then you have interlock, 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 right? And then you might have one back here where you interlock, interlock, and then you got interlock, right? So this would be the top of the finger. You know what I'm saying? And then down here, we might have the side of the hand right here, top of the hand right here, right? You see? So this was, and then over here you'll have your thumb will be over here. So this will be just the end of the thumb. So you'll see your thumb down here, and then you have your wrist, right? You see what I'm saying? So, right. So remember to interlock your fingers all together. Okay. Now this last one we're going to do here, it's like a little pointer. So here we go again. We build our cup. Okay. And then we interlock the big bone into the hand with followed up by the next bone, followed up by the next bone, right? And then we do this one the same way. 1, 2, right? And then 3, right? His hand is doing like that, but you know what I mean? It's supposed to be like that. Okay. And then here it's telling us that I'm seeing the interlocking. I'm doing this 1, 2, 3, but I'm seeing the interlock of this one, right, with this hand. So it's going to go 1, then 2, and then 3. You see? And then you got your hand coming off like that, right? So even though that looks a little nuts right there, I'm trying to keep this instructional for you. 2, 3. Okay? And then you got your fingernails right here. Okay? Yep, so that's, hey, Cherish, what's going on? Whoop, whoop. My number one Patreon is in the house, my top tier Patreon, Cherish. She's also my moderator. I was waiting for you to get here. Had a brother sitting up here in loneliness, right? Now, I wasn't lonely because everybody was keeping me company, but I'm so glad that you're here today, Cherish. I hope that your day is going well. Yes. Okay. All right, guys. Man, I haven't got one latte yet. I think I'm not cool enough. I gotta. You know what I think I gotta do? I gotta be. I'm not a rapper, so I can't. I'm not. I don't deserve it. I'm not a rapper. I gotta rap. I'm gonna rap. I'm changing my. Yep. Adam's family hand. Oh yeah, the Adam's family hand. That would be funny. Cousin it, right? All right, so I think I got one more hand left in me. I said I was going to stop there, but I got one more left in me. Okay, and let me see here. Let's do this one here. Okay, so we can see that this is the So you can see and you can see all of it. You can see the interlocking part of the hand here. You can see the next long bone, and then you can see this interlocking of this bone here. All right. So pretty much this is where we are right here. You see? So now what am I looking at? This is the straight line across the hand, and it's really for this one it's intersecting with this bone here and coming across. So here we have this bone, this interlock over here, right? One, and then we have two, and then we have our third one over here. And then over here we'll just do our one, right? Our two, our three, right? Then we got one, two, three, and then we got one, two, three. So you always got to be thinking about again those interlocks, and it's going to help you. Three circles connected to each other. I fell asleep. I'm kind of sick today, but I'm going to go to the doctor on Monday, so that's good. Oh, okay, okay. Well, I hope you feel better. Cherish as always. We have. Hopefully, we'll be able to have class on Thursday if you feel up to it. Okay. All right, guys. So I have an event downtown today. I'm going to be doing Dia de los Muertos event downtown, and so I'm going to go ahead, guys, and I might do a live stream or something while I'm down there, but I'm not sure yet at this point. So what I'm going to do real quick, guys, we're going to start changing up the gear a little bit. I did some faces, I did some hands for you, some real quick hands. So now what I'm going to do here, I'm going to change up we're going to change it up just a little bit here. All right, hold on a second, guys. I'm going to just real quick change my output here of my thing to my give me a sec. All right, guys. So we are done with the drawing section of our stream. Okay, I taught you guys a lot. We went through all types of different caricatures and different shapes of different things, and talked about hands, and you got to meet my kids, and right? We did a lot of stuff. Hold on a second. We did a lot of stuff today, right? And so now we're going to go ahead and go into our word of the day. So after every stream, I like to give a word of the day. This is how I practice. You ask, how do I improve or continue to improve myself, drawing wise and otherwise, on a daily basis? And I think the answer to that is I stay in student mode most of the time. I'm always looking to learn, even from the one that I believe that I can't learn from sometimes. Sometimes our brain can tell us this person is not on my level because perhaps this person doesn't have as much finances or money as you, or perhaps this person doesn't have the same kind of shoes or clothes. You know, we can get into that. So what I try to do is stay in that mode, and nothing keeps me in that mode more than the Word of God. I am so thankful for everything that has happened in my life. When I look back at my life and I look at all those things that I engaged in, different activities that I engaged in, things that were not so healthy to be engaging in, right? That I could have gotten myself seriously injured or maybe even lost my life. I look back at this burning city that I left behind and it's still on fire. I just don't live there no more. But you know what comes out of that for me is not a depression of any kind. It is the thankfulness of God delivering me from that fire, from saving me from myself. You know, most of the time I felt like my worst enemy was me. So um, I was fighting an internal battle, and God freed me from that. I can't hear your voice. That mic is far away. Oh, sorry. Here we go. Sorry about that. Okay, so let's go ahead, guys, and we're going to dive into our word. So for the word of the day today, I'm going to go ahead and get out my Bible. We're going to just go to my men's. I have a little devotional. I like to study from devotionals because it gives you a nice structured study. Okay, so let's go to my book here. What we're going to do, right? Okay, hold on. Let me find my. All right, now this is what we're going to do, and that you may love the Lord your God, listen to His voice, and hold fast to Him. Getting ready. That's where we're going to go today. How do we get ready? Get ready. You know what that reminds me of? What if I gotta go to a let's go to the book of Deuteronomy. That's one of my favorite books in the Bible, actually, you can tell. Deuteronomy chapter 30, right? And we're gonna go to verse looks like verse 20. 30, 20. Deuteronomy 30 and 20. Okay. Okay, 30 and 20. Let's see where we're at here. Okay, and let me just outline that real quick. So sometimes my old eyes don't want to go back. Okay, so I'm just gonna kind of color it in here. Okay, but getting ready, what does that look like? Well, I think when you're getting ready for something, right? You might be going to get ready for work. Maybe you're getting ready to go to the movies. Maybe you're getting ready to go talk to a person about a situation between you two that needs to be resolved. You're getting ready. You're trying to prepare yourself, right? Maybe you're expecting a phone call. Somebody is going to call you today, and you feel that you have to get ready to talk to that person. You can't just talk to them. You have to be prepared when you confront this person. There's a lot of things that we can be getting ready for, right? So now God's about to show us how to get ready. Okay? So let's listen to this with our student ears on. Remember, I told you always stay in student mode because student mode is where we take a subject, listen, we take a subject and we separate. Let's do it like this. This is you, and this is the subject. When you're not in learning mode, you will be stuck together like these two pencils are. And you can't talk about it because this thing is not separate from you, it is you. So anything that it's a personal thing. So when it's personal, it's attached to you. You can therefore not talk about it, right? Objectively. I think I'm using the right word, but that's when you don't have an opinion other than discussing the facts of what the science of this thing, this yellow pencil here, right, is the thing. But what we want to do as a student is the student is able to detach himself from the thing, right? And for a moment, analyze a part of himself through the eyes of the spirit, through the eyes of reality. What is being involved with this part of me actually really mean? That's what we're doing here when we say stay in student mode, to separate you from it so that you can see it. You ever tried to stand really close to something before and see what it is? Like if I'm standing close to this pencil, right? I know you guys can't see my face, but if I'm standing close to a picture on a wall, I have to back up from the wall to be able to see that picture, if that makes sense to you. So that's what we're doing here today, okay? So if you don't do this in your mind right now, I guarantee you, you won't get anything out of what we're about to do or talk about, okay? All right, so let's go here to getting ready. And let's look at what the scripture says. In Deuteronomy 30:20, it says, "And that you may love the Lord your God, listen to his voice, and hold fast to him." Wow. Now, just from reading that, you know what that makes me think? Me and my brother were just on the phone about this. Everybody on YouTube got an opinion about how you should live on TikTok or social media, right? But no matter what you choose to live or how you choose to live, you have gone through this. You have gone to a source of information, and then you have made that thing your go to when you need to make a decision in your life. Maybe some of us that might be an alcohol bottle. Maybe you might say, before I make any decision, I'm going to hold fast to the alcohol. Before I make a decision, I'm going to hold fast to how much I don't like this person or that person. Or maybe some of us are saying today, I'm going to actually hold fast to what God has to say. Because ultimately, whatever we hold fast to is how we're going to resolve the situation. So let's read what the word says here. The Israelites, well, we already know about them in the Bible. Those are the people that were, right? They were, they were, they were the God's chosen people, right? The Israelites approached the greatest challenge of their lives. And Moses wanted them to be ready. So he was delivering them from Egypt. They were coming out of a bad place in their life, right? We can relate to that. And they were about to face the greatest challenge. Maybe it was that phone call, that job interview, starting your own business, losing a loved one, right? Having to navigate this world without that other person anymore, right? These are all challenges that we face cumulatively as human beings. It's just the fact that it says in the Bible there will be troubles. So we're all headed for a great challenge. If you sit and wait long enough, I guarantee you, you will be challenged. And Moses wanted them to be ready. It says, we too will face great challenges, moments when it feels like a life or death situation. Wow. Moments that it's a life or death situation. That problem that you got going on might not seem like anything to nobody else. Everybody else is so simple. Just fix it. Just go to church. Just do this. Just do that, right? But in your mind, you're sitting there saying, how can they take this so lightly? My life is on the line. It was easy for them to say. You might say something like that because they're not going through what I'm going through. So this is what the Bible is talking about. But Moses' instructions had nothing to do with being a conquering army. Wow. So it had nothing to do with how much strength they had as an army, how much resources you have. In other words, you're a banker, you're a doctor, you're a lawyer, you have access to a lot of resources. It says it had nothing to do with that and everything to do with having a right relationship with God. Because you see, you can have all those resources and you can jump in front of God and try to do something your own way and then make the situation a lot worse than what it was. In other words, what success looks like to God and what success looks like to the world are two different pictures. This morning, a man, and let me put a pin right there. A man said online that why did God have to give His only Son? If God can forgive freely, why did He have to give us His Son to do it? Doesn't that seem kind of hypocritical? Why didn't He just snap His fingers and forgive everybody? Right? And I said to him, this sounds like a person that's not a student. You get what I'm saying? Because if you look at it like a student, you look at it first of all and you say God can make a horse appear in the middle of your living room if He wants to. But He understands the delicate and fragile nature of the human mind. We need to see examples so that we know how to mimic. And Jesus was an example of how God wants us to live. Not only was He an atonement for our sins, He thought of something way deeper than that. He thought about not just the atonement, but let me show you how. Let me show you that this is possible. This human being, right, fully God but fully human, understanding everything it is to be human, went through human stuff. And though He saw Himself and knew that He was the Son of God, He saw that as nothing to cling to. Instead, He humbled Himself and died a criminal's death on the cross, right? So that other people could be saved, right? So that this is the picture of what Christ wants from us. But we can't do that without God. We can't do it. You don't have it in you to do this. You're always going to look out for yourself when it comes to a situation. When you're facing a great challenge in your life, the first thing that comes natural to all human beings, you don't even have to teach a baby how to do this, is to not share, to think about me first. That is the default for every human being on this planet. It is a sin nature that keeps us from going out and being disciples for God. It keeps us from seeing the happiness and joy in our lives that we want, because while we think we're helping ourselves, we're not listening to God, we're not holding fast to His word, we're not trying to get ready. Because the enemy in that situation is going to tell you, break up with your husband. Yeah. Look at this person inappropriately. Talk to this person inappropriately. Take this for you. It's okay. Or don't give to that person because you won't have enough. This is what the enemy does. And if he can keep you thinking like this, you will never see the joy and the glory of God in your life. You have to hold fast. This is what this is talking about, to God's word. So again, Moses' instructions had nothing to do with being in a conquering army and everything to do with having a right relationship with God. Strategies and techniques wouldn't have mattered if the Israelites hadn't been spiritually prepared. It says here Moses gave 4 instructions in Deuteronomy. So how do we get ready? So why I think that's deep, that it says again here that strategies and techniques, how much you know about the stock market, how much know about investing, how much you know about securing a future, none of that secures your future. None of that secures your lineage or your legacy. You're just like every other human being. You're going to live and you're going to die. In 6 months after you're dead, nobody will remember you. Maybe 1 or 2 people. And in a year from then, that person, and when that person's gone, right, it's over with. Nothing reminds me of that more than the movie of Coco, where there's no picture of you on the mantelpiece anymore. So you go to the great, great beyond. You see what I'm saying? So the same thing here, that none of those things secure your future, no matter what you hold on to on this planet. If it's made out of something physical, right? These things can't prepare you for what's about to happen in your life. Because I'm telling you, you're going to go through some stuff. I'm 53. I didn't see myself having no sons at 53 years old and being married. I got 4 kids. I'm raising kids. I'm going to be raising kids since I'm 80 years old. And beyond that, I'm responsible for other human beings' lives. I'm in ministry. Never saw that coming. Here I am preaching the word of God. I could be saying something that's going to get me views on YouTube. But here I am saying, you know what, God, I'm believing that you're going to take care of me. So I'm going to preach this word. I'm going to show this word. I'm going to share this word. I'm going to give everything back to you because of everything you delivered me from. I'm holding fast to your word because I seen what you did. I seen how you delivered me from alcoholism. I seen how you delivered me from drug abuse and being a drug addict and homelessness and jail and all those situations that I should have been. Everything. I got the story for you. But I see what he did, and he's faithful. So I hold on to that every time I'm going through something. So here are the 4 things that Moses gave to the Israelites before they went into battle. So let's look at these. The first thing it said was, first, love God. Listen, it says, you will always follow your greatest love. If he is not your one great love, you will falter when asked to sacrifice for what you truly love. Boom! Right? If you don't love God, when the rubber hits the road, so my uncle would say, you are going to fold. The reason, listen, let me break it down in simple terms. My children, my sons and my daughters, I'm raising them now. When I come, I used to be in the street and partying and drinking and getting just loose with myself, no respect for myself, just doing all kinds of stuff, right? I love my children, though. I see God bless me with these children. I love God, but I'm just going to use it in a humanly term. I love my children. So when friends come over or a person asks me or I see an opportunity to engage something that I once used to do, my love for my children overrides that. You got to be out your mind. Go where with you and do what? No. You get what I'm saying? Because my love for my children. Well, God needs to be, because it says store up no treasures here on earth where rust and moth can get to them and thieves can steal and break in and steal and take it away from you. That means anything physical, don't love that. Don't put all of your eggs in that basket. That basket can be taken from you by another human being. And so people ask, why do bad things happen to good people and all this stuff? And if there was a God, because he told you about that in the beginning. He already told you. But now just because you didn't listen, you didn't hear that part. He said stop holding on to these things. You have a job. I have a job in the life of my children. I have a job in the life of my wife. I can develop human emotion to them and sensitivity to them. There's nothing wrong with that, but they are not to become my end all be all. Because if I make them that, I can't effectively help them because I'm going to be biased when God tells me to do something in relation to them that's good for them. I might not like it, but it's the best thing for them. I might not want to do that, right? Because my true love is what I'm going to listen to first. Now, what's the second thing? Second, listen to God. Listen to God. God speaks to you through his word. Listen, God speaks to you. Listen, God speaks to you through his word. Like everybody else, like everything, everybody, no matter how many people on this earth have you spoken to without words? Because the word is a living word. God's word is a living word. He speaks to us through his word. If you read your Bible, if you spend time not all day sitting here reading 35 chapters of the Bible, but if you read something in the morning and meditate on that one thing, I guarantee you is going to show up in your life that same day. It always does it for me in ways that thing is applicable. But it says you have to listen. So now you can't just love God, but you have to learn how to listen, right? Truly listen, right? Nothing worse. I don't know if any ladies are here today. You guys like to talk about. Sometimes you'll get together. You might talk about relationship issues, and maybe one of your friends came to you and said, "I have a issue with my husband or whatever," right? And you tell, and the problem is obvious to you what this issue is, right? So you tell them, "Look, this is what you're doing wrong because you're looking at it from the outside in. I don't have anything to do with this, so therefore it's clear that you're the problem and not him. You need to stop doing this." Does that make sense? So they didn't listen to you, and then they leave this conversation. Then they come back 2 weeks later in a worse position because they did not do or follow the advice that, mind you, that they asked you for. Does that make sense? I have a wife, so I'm always hearing stuff like this, okay? But this is what it is. We got to learn not to just love God, but now we have to learn how to love Him and listen to Him. He will lead you if you follow His voice, okay? So, love, and then second, you want to listen. Now, the third thing it says here, and this is so important, is think of your life as His. You must take hold of God with an iron grip. He won't let you go, but you must hold on to Him. In other words, once you decide you want God, God take His hand and He grab you. Okay? And His grip is so tight that nothing can pull you apart from Him. Nothing can take His love from you. No earthly person can do anything about that. There's nothing that can be done when God grabs a hold of you. But the one thing He asks is that you turn and you hold on to Him too. He's already told you, just hold on to me. Even if it's you can't apply as much pressure, even if your grip ain't as strong, I don't need to know. I just need you to give me everything you got. Because my grip is so strong that nobody can pull you away from me. You will experience and feel and be in my love forever. We must hold on to Him. Don't let it go. And finally, lean on His purposes. God has made many promises. He will keep them, but you must keep faith in them. Now listen to me. I feel like this. Finally lean on His promises. I told you, as I think back over my life and I look at the mess that I've made with decisions that I've made because I didn't want to listen. I didn't love anybody but myself, right? And I didn't think of my life as anybody's life but my own. So everything fell on me. This is the classic definition of selfishness. Selfishness means selfish, right? You self, that means you. Selfish, right? Think of you-ness, describing a person that lives in a bubble where they're the center. This is the bubble, and nobody else on the planet exists. No other idea. Everything is in this bubble, and this is that type of mentality. But it says to lean on His promises. I go back and I believe when I look at the things that happened in my life and His deliverance, how He delivered me from that. You might choose to believe that you were just lucky. But what kind of power does that have? Because maybe you're just not, maybe you'll be unlucky the next time. That doesn't empower you. But it empowers you when you believe in your heart that you know that you have an advocate or somebody in your corner that not only is going to ensure your success in this life, right? But in where you're going after this. You walk differently, you talk different, you speak differently. Everything is just more joyous. I'm a caricature artist, but I'm not. I used to say I'm doing this because at first I was like, it was money for me at first. because I didn't understand. I had a relation. I knew of God, but I didn't have a relationship with Him. I would throw the word around. Thank God. Pray for my meal. Those type of things. But it's nothing like walking in a true experience with Him and feeling His love and seeing when He left the last pack of rubber bands on the shelf for you. I went to a store one time going to an event, and there was no, this is the only store between here and the event, and I was about to be late. I hope they got some rubber bands. I walked in, and there they were, right? When I was praying for my wife, I was in the middle. Do you understand? Oh my gosh. I was praying for the right woman to come, and wow, God brought it to me in the most unlikeliest of times in my life. I was completely confused as a man. I was hurt by childhood traumas and all kinds of crap, and I wasn't ready for no wife. But He just didn't bring me. He didn't just bring me a wife. He brought me a wife that believed in God, and then He brought me a wife that had the she loved me enough to work with me and help to transform me into the man I became. You see, a man, and I'm going to end with this. God already said it's not good for man to be alone. Listen, no man, no man, no man. I don't care. This is, in my opinion, but I'm just going off the word of God. No man on this earth is going to ever see his full potential without a woman. It's impossible because they came from us. That means somebody had to take a part of us away. That means we no longer have that part. So in order for you to get that part back, you got to go where that part is. That's her. The things that they are good at and we suck at, that's a reason for that. Because we used to be good at everything. But that part, God said, is not good for us to be alone. He created that woman. He put us together. So see the enemy's game? The enemy game is to get us to hate each other. The enemy's game is to get guys on the guy's side to go to the girl's side, the guys on the girl's side to go to the guy's side, and just this big fight happened the whole time. Not understanding that God took part of us and made them, but listen, but the part of them that they are, right, is missing the part that's from us. So we can't. We're fighting, but do you understand that this fight will never get anywhere? Because neither one of us are more powerful than the other. And when I became to understand that, and I said, it says when a man receive a wife, he received blessings from the Lord. He find a good thing. He received blessings. I understand what that means now. God said, I'm going to level you up. I'm going to give you 4 eyes instead of 2, 6 eyes, 8 eyes instead of 2. Okay? If you ever played, and I'm going to go ahead and wrap up. If you ever played the game of chess, okay? Hold on. I got my chess game here. Look. I'm going to show you this. And then we're going to get out of here. Hopefully it don't go to commercial. You see this piece right here? This is called the queen. Okay? If I lose, now let me show you something. Now this is teaching you different openings. But if I lose her, this piece right here, watch. This one is the girl. This one is the guy. So you got the guy and the girl. If I lose that queen and this guy has his queen still, I can't beat him. And that queen could be, it's your grandmama, it's your sisters, it's your aunts, right? It's your guidance counselors, your principal. We need them because of the specific thing that they had that was taken from us, but now we don't have it no more. So we need them. and they need us. Okay? So that's our word of the day today. I don't know why I got on that, but I'm just telling you that you got to listen to the word of God because a lot of the times what you're seeing is going to conflict with the truth. Okay? So, guys, I want to thank you for coming out to the stream today. I appreciate your comments and questions and all the encouragement, the tips. I mean, if you guys did tip, that's super awesome. If you did not, if the Lord did not put that on your heart today, I understand. You get what I'm saying? I always tell my brothers, I say, man, no matter what you do in this life, it's all about your heart. Even if you go help 1,000 people, if you didn't do it for the right reasons, then you might as well not have helped them at all. You get what I'm saying? Only you know in your heart why you do or do not do something. And that thing is all you have to live with that thing. Just think about it. You can't right now, whatever it is that you're refusing to do or not do, you already developed a heart about it. So either you're like if you ride past that guy on the corner that's homeless and you say, I'm not going to help that guy, and you say out your mouth because he can go get a job, but in your heart you say it's because I'm not going to have enough for me, or it's not going to be good for me if I don't help this if I help this person. You already know that in your head what that what you why you did this. What decision? Your mouth will say one thing, but your heart never lies. And the one person that can hear your heart is you, right? And God. So you can't lie to you and you can't lie to God. You can lie to everybody else. Okay? Just wanted to put that out there. Now, that being said, if you guys, I'm gonna go ahead and end because I got to get ready for this event I have. So learn to draw caricatures, one-on-one classes. You can take classes with me today. RouserWorld.com/classes. Thank you so much, Gordon. I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much, man. Thank you. All right. And then we have our join our Patreon family. So again, guys, little excitement for you if you want to check out my YouTube channel, my Patreon page. Uh, my Patreon page. Hold on, let me do this here. My my Patreon page is basically our fan support page, so it'll have some behind the scenes videos. It'll have some other art lessons, things that I just put there specifically as a give back to those that have sown into our community. Uh, and so if you want to check that out again, go over to patreon.com/RouseWorld. And finally, guys, don't forget Ethan and Evan's birthday is coming up. My 2-year-old, my 4-year-old. Um, I'm so grateful to God for them. I'm going to be doing a birthday party for them. I'm trying to raise money for. This is, again, what I do for a living. So if you feel that you've benefited from our stream today in some shape, form, or fashion, and in your heart you've said, hey, man, I like to buy this guy a cup of coffee, or you know what, here's $5 or $10, man. I can afford that, and that's just to help for your son's birthday party. I certainly appreciate it, man. You guys, I certainly do appreciate it. So, other than that, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. You guys be blessed. I'll be streaming again on Tuesday, keeping a normal schedule. If I'm late, it's because I'm 53 and I have 2 young kids. I did not think this through first. I'm messing with you. So you guys have a great, great evening. Cheris, thank you so much. Thank you for that encouragement about the word, faith. Everybody that's here, I certainly do appreciate you guys. You guys be blessed, and I'll see you the next time. Do 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 do. All right, guys. I will see you guys on the flip side. Okay.